Hi there, welcome to Island Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Virgo energy. And for this round, we're going to do this 10 card spread. And we're also going to read it from a couple different perspectives because there's all sorts of people in their Virgo energy out there and they all have free will. Some of them harness high vibe Virgo energy. Some are in a more worldly focused Virgo energy, and some people are in a more shadowy Virgo energy. So they're going to handle, and their life is going to be different than other people's because of the decisions they make in their life. You know, life's all about learning lessons, and some people have learned more lessons than some other people in the world and know how to get along better with people and listen to their intuition, or more grown and mature than other people. So we just need to see the truth. If you're someone who harnesses high vibe Virgo energy, you'd probably like to be in relationships with other people who've learned some of the same lessons you have. And if you're more, love is a driving factor in your life, and other people, it might be themselves, it might be ego and image and money and materialism or indulgence. It's just to see the truth of it. Quit being in our ego about it. Accept that people have free will. They have what drives and motivates them. It can be different than what drives and motivates us. And we wish people peace, and we go find some of the people who are on the same page as us. So we all tap into Virgo energy. Listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story. Listen to your intuition about other people in the story of how they harness their Virgo energy. And we'll go from there. Okay. So I look at this card as the overarching reason for the reading. And it's the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups can be high vibe energy, is about learning these lessons to become more emotionally independent of our shadow nature, of our more worldly, egoic, petty, immature, prideful, egotistical, lazy nature. To love ourselves enough to become independent of it, to grow and heal and mature ourselves. And some people, again, could be more about indulging themselves. In relationships, they indulge themselves. They want other people to indulge them. Maybe it's more about they think indulging in these things of the world or making their life more about money and materialism will be what makes them happy. So we start out with the Ten of Wands, the Devil, and the Knight of Pentacles. Some people have seen the truth about some people in their life that are more about the world, more about ego and image and money and materialism. And other people aren't as inspired. Those things aren't the primary driving force in their life. They're inspired to be free of these things of the world that can get a hold on us and keep us from living our more authentic life and being free to live our authentic life from love. So some people have seen the truth of some people like that. Some people are still putting a lot of work and effort into people who might be more worldly based, ego based, bossy, controlling something, some shadowy way of being. And they keep trying to get those people to see the truth. The Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. I'm going to try to get those people to see the truth. And we've all kind of went through a phase of life like that, right? We can get in these mismatched relationships. We get in a relationship with someone who could be defensive to love, got these shadowy or immature ways of being, and we're like, oh, I'm going to make them see the truth. And it can be overwhelming because the other people have lived their life and made their free choice about how they want to live their life. They could be trying to get other people to indulge in the things that they indulge in. Make your life about what I'm interested in. And the other person's like, no, you're supposed to make your life about what I'm interested in. You know, and it can end up being an unhealthy, toxic relationship because our truth is different. What drives and motivates us, what we want to invest our time, energy, and effort into is different. And some people were in those type of relationships. They found it overwhelming. And eventually they were willing to see the truth. And they decided to leave. Some people are still in the midst of them. The Devil card can also represent workplaces. Some people could right now be putting a lot of work and effort to get a new job, to move things forward in a job, wondering if someone's going to offer them a new job, So the devil can kind of represent those things too. Then we have the Ten of Pentacles, the Empress card, the Four of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So everybody's kind of motivated and inspired by what drives and motivates them. The devil can also be people we're attracted to. People who challenge us to work through our own fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. But people are moving forward in foundations, and the Ten of Pentacles is also Virgo energy. Some people are consumed. Their whole, the Knight of Pentacles wants to become the King of Pentacles. In high vibe, it's people who want to be in stable, grounded, insightful, loving, just, fair, creative, inspired relationships where people operate from love. But there's other people who are like, I want to be the King of Pentacles where I have the status and the image and the power, or someone indulges me. And they're putting in a lot of work and effort, maybe in some friendships or relationships or workplaces that they're in, to have that status and image and money and materialism to indulge in. And sometimes we're in relationships with people, one person wants it to be a more just and fair, inspired, loving relationship, and the other person's like, I just want to be in the relationship. It's good for my ego, it's good for my status, you're loving and nurturing, you kind of indulge me. Yeah, I want to be in a relationship with you, to indulge in a relationship with you. And sometimes we get in those relationships and, it can take a long time because both people could be putting in work to make the relationship work, but why? What is it that drives and motivates them? And sometimes we can get in these relationships or jobs and we are kind of working from different end goals, but there can be a lot of things we like about it. We can be attracted to people, we want to be in a relationship, we want a job, so sometimes we kind of let these things of the world that we want kind of cloud our judgment, and it stops us from seeing the truth. And the whole thing is we're going to learn lessons in the relationship. So some people right now are in some mismatched relationships. Other people have gotten out of a mismatched relationship and they're either going to go get in a relationship with someone who they think is more on the same page as them, or they're planning doing this work within themselves first. I need to get out of if I don't want to repeat this old pattern, and I'm going to detach from some ways of living life and people I might have hung out with, I need to do this work within myself, to love myself, to become independent of that, to be free of that, so that I can be more balanced within myself. In the Six of Pentacles, and the Temperance card tips sideways, quit being patient with people who aren't on the same page as me. Quit kind of indulging myself maybe in some poor behavior. And I need to be done with that, because I think I usually look at them as turning clockwise, and people are just doing this work within themselves to get balance within themselves and to learn these lessons so that they're making better decisions in their life. And then when they are, it's really to be focused on truth and love to guide the decisions that they make. And wanting to be in relationships with other people who have done this work within themselves, who are making good decisions in their life, who are focused on truth and love for the decisions they make. And for the people that right now could be kind of in a mismatched relationship, one person could be overwhelmed because they really want it to work from a high vibe reason or a low vibe reason. Some people are in relationships, mismatched or not, and there's always going to be other people who could want to be in a relationship with us. You know, the devil's all these things that kind of tempt us. Right now, some people could be being tempted. Some either by a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, or a Virgo, or someone who has already moved away from something in their life, and now they're kind of a temptation to other people in the world who, in the devil, can mean that, you know, there's things about them that people are drawn and attracted to for different reasons. Could be money, could be status, could be image, could be attractive, could be loving, you know. It challenges other people. What is my truth? Some people could find it very overwhelming. Some people are really trying to resist. What if people moved away from people at some point in time because they had issues to work through and they had lessons to learn? People move forward in new relationships. And then what if someone who we had been attracted to before that we wanted to kind of be in this relationship with, what if something they had went to go get into and learn lessons from, they've moved away from that and they realized, wow, I learned some hard lessons there. Really helped me get clear about my truth. I could have thought, I could have been in fear and insecurity. I could have been wanting these things of the world. I could be caught up in some things. You know, the devil comes into our life and we have some lessons to learn, right? But it also can be people who do challenge us to grow and heal and mature ourselves. And some people have made offers to people. High vibe people have offered the truth. I learned some lessons in life. I've detached from some ways of living life. I could have been caught up in the world. There's these things of the world I wanted to manifest. I got myself in an unhealthy, toxic relationship. I've moved away from that. I've done this work within myself. I've learned to love myself. I've become more independent of things that used to manipulate me, my more immature nature, fearful nature, codependent nature, whatever. And now I want to exchange resources with someone who I think is on the same page as me. And the Empress and the Emperor are counterparts. In high vibe, it's people who've done this work within themselves to love themselves, to maintain balance within themselves. They're independent of their more immature worldly view of life. They're making good, balanced decisions in their life based on truth and love, and they want to be in relationships with other people who they think are on that same page. Some people are in those type of relationships. Some people could have gotten in a relationship and maybe, you know, just like we can get out of certain jobs and relationships, other people have gotten out of certain jobs and relationships. Some people moved on ahead of us and they already found those, you know, a good job fit, a good friend fit, a good relationship fit. And they already have found those traits and characteristics and qualities with someone who is on the same page as them. And we could get out, or other people could get out, depending on if you're the person who's already in those situations or you're looking to get in a situation like that. And they move forward, and the wands can be about communication, and the Emperor can be male or female. We all take action in the world in masculine energy, but why do we take the action we take? And it can also talk about how we present ourselves in the world. But the feminine figures can talk about how we really think and feel. So we want to get in relationships with people who we think are on the same page as us. If we communicated with someone who we think is on the same page as us, because that's how they kind of present themselves in the world, some of those people, it's like, oh, sorry, You know, I've already moved on with someone else. I'm already in a just and fair and balanced and loving relationship. I'm focused on the truth and I'm looking to the future with the people I'm in a relationship with. Well, for some of the people, that could, like, that's a bummer. You know, and I'm kind of might go through a little period of being overwhelmed, but I don't want to stay in negative energy. My dreams aren't codependent on a certain person being in my life. My dreams are working with people and finding the people who are available to work with me. And I trust that the divine knows the truth about everybody and what everybody is motivated and inspired by. It. Maybe if this is someone I already knew, if this is somebody I met, apparently God has a different plan, and I trust that the divine knows the truth of what I really want to manifest in my life. God knows the truth of what other people are really driven and motivated by. And maybe some people we met and they were meant to be in our life and we kind of learned what we were meant to learn from them. Some of the people that we meet, it's like, wow, you're like my new role model. You're like the type of person I definitely want to be in a relationship with. Thank you for being a good role model. Because high vibe emperor energy is being a good leader in the world. Some people could be really tempted and it could be really hard for them to keep moving forward in what they're moving forward with. But if what they're moving forward with is based on truth and love, they are being a good leader in their life. And if I were to engage in that, it would maybe be me operating from my shadowy nature. And why would I do that? You know? And the high vibe people are like, yeah, I don't want you to come get in a relationship with me out of shadowy energy. And that's why, you know, I'm going to speak my truth. Be stable, be grounded, be mature. If you are in another relationship, you know, because you can meet people or get in contact with people, you don't know their relationship status, then they let those people go. From the 10 of Pentacles to the 6 of Pentacles, it's letting go of the 4 of Pentacles. Oh, you're already in a relationship. Yep, okay. You know, you go. You do you. I'm not going to, you know, chase after you or try to tempt you to be in your lust or your greed or your pride or your ego, because I don't want someone to be in a relationship with me for those reasons. And I will keep moving on, doing this work within myself to love myself, maintain balance within myself, enjoy my life, keep being independent of my more shadowy nature. And I'm going to keep maintaining balance within myself and making good decisions in my life and trusting that the divine has a plan for my life. Some people are moving forward in a mismatched relationship and it can be overwhelming. One person, like I say, could be more loving and nurturing. They could really be kind of indulging someone, but is that their truth? We can be in relationships with loving, nurturing people, and it's like, oh shit, I really, you know, I don't know if this is my truth. There can be a lot of things I like about it, but could it seem like a more transactional relationship? Could we have gotten in the relationship because a different relationship didn't work out? Is it maybe more for the ego or the image or the money or to be indulged? Am I in a relationship that challenges me to grow and heal and mature myself? Or do I have people kind of indulging me? Did I get in a relationship because I've had to learn to love myself? Looking for someone to love me, but I haven't learned to love me? Did I get in a relationship more for the ego or the image or the status? What is my truth? You know, if anybody's overwhelmed about leaving something behind that challenged them, because some people will move away from people who challenge them to do some inner work within themselves. I don't want, you know, our Virgo nature of self goes within to look at the things we'd rather keep hidden in the dark. Maybe I am a little bit more about money and materialism or being indulged in a relationship, or a little bit more about myself. Maybe I like a more transactional relationship. Maybe I like it when people make it more about me. And if there was people in my life who challenged me to see the truth of that, and I didn't want to see the truth of that, even though I could, because they could be loving people. Loving people challenge us to deal with our more worldly, egoic, codependent, challenge our views of life. Some people are really struggling because they might not, they could even have a foundation in their life. It could be their original family. It could be a friend group. It could be no, work is the most important thing. This Ten of Pentacles and this Empress energy, it can't even be how they emotionally indulge themselves in their more immature nature. And some people they were in relationship with kind of challenged them about that. And they found it overwhelming. They could have even done something that was hurtful or unkind or bossy or controlling or immature. And instead of dealing with the truth of it, I'm just going to go emotionally indulge myself. I don't want to work through it. I don't want to speak the truth. I don't want to take action in truth. There might be some ways people like to indulge themselves, which can just be, I want to be bossy. I want to be controlling. I think it should be more about me. I am more about money and materialism, or I indulge myself. Other people should indulge me. And sometimes we see the truth of that. Some people have other people in their life who kind of manipulate and control them, that they're not willing to become independent from emotionally. They look to those people, if that's their original family or a friend group, to be like, you're my primary foundation. I like to get in relationships with people. I exchange resources with other people. I create the illusion that I'm going to make decisions in this relationship that are best for taking both of us into account, but really there's other people in my life that are kind of like a third party in this relationship, and I only exchange resources with other people, but these are the people that I have my primary loyalty to. And that's kind of unhealthy, right? If you're going to get in a relationship with other people, because some of these people in their life are people who are friends or siblings, they can't have a romantic relationship with those people, but there's have kind of a codependent relationship on those people. And they're not willing to see the truth of it and how those things and those people could manipulate them. And they're not willing, from the 10 to the 6, let go of that Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles can be where you cling on tightly to a foundation, like you're my core foundation. To let go of that being a core foundation within them, trusting those people as being a core foundation in their life, to get in a relationship with other people, like that they're going to be in a long-term relationship with and marry and like have children with, to make those people the primary foundation. These are my primary people that I am supposed to be responsible for. And for some people, sometimes outer people in the world can just be a reflection. Some of the people that we align ourselves with are just it's kind of like a physical manifestation of things going on within ourselves. Oh yeah, there's my friend who's impulsive and reckless and immature, and I like hanging out with them. We might not view them as being that type of person, but there is a part of them that aligns with that kind of energy, and that's why those people are people they have in their life. It might just be the people they hang out with, once a month to kind of be more impulsive and reckless, with, everything kind of within moderation. But sometimes some people, there is a part of them that has this way of viewing life that they're not maybe willing to become independent of. And the other people in their life that they make these primary people in their life kind of have that same philosophy of life. And sometimes it helps us see the truth about some of the people that we're in relationship with. We maybe weren't seeing it in them, but when we see them keep having their primary loyalty to some of these other people in their life, it kind of shows us that it can be this kind of, toxic kind of codependent relationship. Like, we have this philosophy of life. This is how we live life. You can go get in relationships with other people, but those people are like the third party. Your primary loyalty is to this. Even if you do get married to those people, basically we should still be able to manipulate you and control you, even though you have made commitments to other people to basically create the illusion that they are the primary people that you are going to work with, but that's just an illusion. We are the primary people that you have loyalty and allegiance to. And some people, basically, if they have these other people in their life that can kind of manipulate and control them, they're a third party in our relationship, if it's a romantic relationship. And it's like, I don't know why you let those people manipulate and control you. I don't have to understand why you let those people manipulate you and control you. I just know those people don't manipulate and control me. And if we're not kind of on the same page in our kind of philosophy in life of what drives and motivates us, and they might not like to do equal give and take, they might be a little bit more unbudging, because the Ten of Pentacles can be, this is the way we do things. We do not ever detach from certain ways of viewing life or attitudes or anything like that. And it could be a more worldly, egoic, indulgent, materialistic way of viewing life. And other people aren't as manipulated by those things, and they've let go of being so consumed or attached to their more worldly view of life, and they're more balanced within themselves. Yes, I want these things of the world like other people do. I want stability and security and enjoy some of the finer things in life too. But I also want authentic, just, fair, loving, warm, creative, inspired people in my life, and to be able to be my own individual self in the world. And some people are like, well, you can't do that. We make our life about the world. And we kind of abide by these certain rules, these unwritten, kind of invisible world rules. But we have this way of viewing life, and we do not let go of any of those to be more balanced within ourselves. To really be a leader in the world. We make our life about conforming to the world. You're different. And if some of those people are like, we don't like those people. We don't like those people you're hanging out with. They're different. They don't make their life about these things. They don't let us manipulate them. They don't live their life just like we do. They seem to be more balanced between their worldly nature and their more hopeful, believing, creative, inspired nature. And we're not. We might live more from our mind than our heart. We might make our life more about these things in the world. We don't like them. Get rid of them. Some of those people did. Could have been overwhelming for them to let go of some of those people in their life. But there is a part of them, we all like to stay in our comfort zone. And for some of the people that we've known in our life, this is more their comfort zone than, and sometimes we don't know that for a long time in a relationship. And we kind of could have been on the same page. We all get caught up in these things of the world and things that we value and things that we think are important. And we can both put in work and effort to have those things. driven and motivated to want to have those things. I want to be in a relationship. I might want to get married. I might want to have children. You know, we both want those things. But then as time goes by, some people are ready to detach from some of their more worldly views of life to be more inspired by working through some, you know, we just go through these phases of life where we let go of old ways of kind of viewing life as we grow and change during life. But some people don't ever want to change, and they also don't ever want, you know, just like we did age 15, 18, 21 to 25, there's certain ways of viewing life, and the Six of Pentacles being Taurus energy is about our philosophy of life. You know, there's certain ways we viewed life and we viewed ourselves and the way we viewed people we get in relationship with, the way we view relationships. You know, sometimes people over time detach from old ways of viewing life because they've grown and healed and matured and changed, but some people never change. They're really could be overwhelmed at the thought of change, because that does require them to face their fears or their insecurity, you know, to work through some of those issues to be free of them. And they could be people who keep indulging themselves. No, I don't have to do that. No, I don't have to deal with the truth of that. No, I don't have to look at life from any other perspective. No, I don't want to deal with those things. And so they don't. And so they never, you know, their philosophy of life almost, of how they view life at a certain age in life, and you talk to them 10 years from now, 20 years from now, you know, they haven't grown or healed or matured or looked at life from any other perspective, like people stuck in a time warp. And then just some people don't think they have to change. Again, you have to be willing to get out of your pride and ego to even be willing to accept maybe there are some things I need to change. Maybe I do indulge myself. Maybe I do make it more about me. Maybe I think the scales should kind of be tipped in my favor all the time. Maybe I think it should be more all about me. I'm maybe all about me, and I think other people should be all about me. And some people don't want to see the truth of that. Some people can be very prideful, egotistical, immature, bossy, controlling, you know, lazy, whatever. The list goes on. And they don't want to deal with the truth of any of it. You know, that's their free will choice. My own ego nature, what the devil can represent, of self, the Four of Wands and the Emperor's Aries energy. We all harness Aries energy. Some people, Aries energy is about the self. But do we grow and mature ourselves and love ourselves to become true leaders in the world, where we've learned all these lessons in life to be a good example in the world, having resources and love to offer other people for them to heal and grow and mature themselves, to be free of the things that manipulate them. Some people just want to be the boss and they're all about themselves. I want these things. I want people to indulge me. I think it should be more about me. I have these illusions about what it means to be in a relationship. It's more about me than anyone else. I might not want to do love. I only love me. I want to be in transactional relationships where I exchange some of my things with other people for them to be in a relationship with me, but I'm really just more about myself. And if I get in a relationship with people who challenge my belief system, who might want me to grow or heal or mature myself or be more just and fair or be more connected in with my more creative, inspired nature and more independent and maybe more about love, yeah, no, I'm leaving. I'm going to go find someone else to get in a relationship with. You know, some of the people we could want to be in a relationship with, you know, sometimes they're not who we thought they were, you know, and so sometimes people we would like to be in a relationship with, we don't really know because we don't, maybe at one time we knew them, but maybe we don't really know them now, or, we're just not sure. And we don't really know if people are in more shadowy energy or more insightful energy. Some of the people some of you could have reached out to, those people are overwhelmed because they don't know the truth about you. And if they're already in a relationship and you found out they were in a relationship, they might just be moving forward with the relationship that they're in and going to keep working on that relationship. Even if that relationship can be overwhelming because it's a mismatched relationship, And eventually they, just to let that relationship play out its natural life cycle. And if at some future date and time they decide to let go of it, well, then maybe, they'll be the one moving forward, having learned some lessons, communicating with you at some future date. And at some future date, if somebody, and for some people in your life, different people in our life that we've known, some people are in the new relationship, other people are getting out of the relationship. It's kind of this thing going on with different people all the time. There could be other people who might want to be in a relationship with us. We could be in a new relationship. We're in relationships with people who are just and fair and loving. We could be glad that some other people got themselves out of some things that were manipulating them, but sorry, I'm already in a just and fair and loving relationship. Some of you are going to get in that type of relationship. There's consequences to our actions, and sometimes, pride comes before the fall. We all have these things we want to do and things we want to manifest, and we don't get in certain relationships. We don't make, because life's about making these choices. And sometimes later in life, we can realize that that some of the decisions we made and things we were attracted to were people we weren't on the same page with, and it can be really overwhelming. But we do this work to love ourselves and believe in ourselves. Some of the shadowy people just go look for someone else to love them instead of doing this work within themselves to love and believe in themselves, in their Virgo energy and their Libra Taurus energy and their Aries energy and their Pisces energy. I have seen the truth. In my foundation, I need to learn to love myself and become more independent. I need to get more balance within myself. There's some things and ways of viewing life and maybe certain type of people I've been attracted to, and I need to figure out why I was even attracted to them and why I lived my life like that, because it did not turn out the way I wanted, and I don't want to repeat that same pattern. And there's things I need to deal with, maybe in my core foundation of self, that I need to work through so I can let go of those things. So I will no longer be drawn and attracted to certain people in my life. And I think until we learn to love ourselves, we've all had people in our life that we wish were more just and fair and loving, and they weren't. And it kind of overwhelms us because we don't understand why weren't they more just and fair and loving. And then we have that wound. And then I think because we haven't dealt with it, we'll be drawn and attracted to certain people who could subconsciously remind us of those people. And now it's someone else that we can be in a romantic relationship with. And we're wondering why. And initially they could seem loving and stable and grounded and this is going to be great. And then they're not. And then we could see how those people could remind us of some of the people in our past. And again, we could have been attracted to someone who reminds us, again, has some of those traits and characteristics of other people, and us kind of in our ego. I'm going to make this person love me. This time I'm going to win. Oh, look, here's someone who has some of those same traits and characteristics. I'm going to go invest in them and get in a loving relationship with them. I'm sure this time they'll love me. I'm sure this time they'll let go of their shadowy ways of being and they'll do equal give and take, and I'll be the boss. I won. And that's why we can be drawn and attracted to certain people. We want to win. This time, we want it to work out the way we wanted it to work out. And sometimes we're working with people and it's really overwhelming because we're trying to get people to get out of those kind of whatever ways of being that stops them from really doing equal give and take and love with people. And I need to see the truth of it. I need to heal from it so I can quit trying to change people. I've been in relationships with people who are bossy and controlling, self-centered, egotistical, whatever. Yeah, now when I see people like that, it's like, hey, yeah, I've been in a relationship with people like you before. I wish you peace. I hope your life works out. I am not going to get in a relationship with you because I healed the wound. I gave myself the things that I wish people like that would have given me. So I don't need someone like you to love me or validate my worth and value. I did that work within myself. I freed myself from that. Now I choose to get in relationships with people who have these nice traits and characteristics about them. And I've learned to love myself. So now I'm not rejecting people who want to love me and going and giving a lot of love to other people who aren't on the same page as me. I learned to love me. I've learned to do equal give and take. And I think that's where people want to be. And some people are still putting a lot of work and effort to try to get other people to indulge them or to love them or do equal give and take for them to change. And the only person we can change is us. And that's when we see the truth. The only person I can change is me. I need to get out of my ego. Everybody else is where they're at in life. They're driven and motivated to live their life the way they want to live it. High vibe, low vibe, whatever. I'm going to love me. I'm going to get balance within myself. I'm going to give myself the things I wish other people would have given me and learn the lessons I was meant to learn from all these life experiences. And I'm going to go invest my time and energy only in the people. I can know all sorts of people, visit with lots of people, work with all sorts of different people. They're acquaintances. I treat them with love and respect and encouragement just like I do other people. But the people I'm really going to invest in emotionally in my time and effort is the people who I think are more on the same page as me. And as you're doing that, there's going to be other people that might be attracted to you, might want to be in a relationship with you. But until they do that work within themselves to be that type of person and detach from these illusions about relationships, that they should be indulged or won't you just be the next loving person in my life? I haven't done this inner work. It's like, no, I've already been in a relationship with people who are like that. And as long as those things still manipulate you and those things don't manipulate me, we're not on the same page. So what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Virgo energy that they might not see coming up? The Five of Swords, the Two of Wands, the Four of Cups. And the reason is because of the Hierophant. So the Hierophant, again, like the Six of Pentacles, it's our philosophy of life. And Taurus energy is about earth sign energy of putting in work and effort. As you keep putting in work and effort, focusing your time, energy, and effort on truth and love to guide the decisions you make, and you act in character and integrity, and you don't indulge your more immature, prideful, whatever nature, you're going to change. And you're going to change your perspective in life. And the Five of Swords also comes after the Four of Swords. You will heal from past pain and heartbreak, because that's what you're putting work and effort into. I am dealing with my own past pain and heartbreak, the things that blocked me previously from my foundation loving myself. And when I love myself, I don't tolerate other people being unjust, unfair, toxic, abusive, controlling, and manipulative of me. because I'm not in codependent energy anymore. I don't need you to love me or validate my worth and value. I love me and validate my worth and value. And if you are going to act like that, I am going to be inspired to distance myself from you. And you look at life from a higher perspective. You have hope and faith and belief in your dreams. You have hope and faith and belief in healing. You have hope and faith in a higher truth and justice and a higher power. That there's more to this world than just the things of the world. I think there's life force energy that's creative and inspired, that makes people write books and write music and come up with new art. There's this life force energy in the world, just like there's a shadowy energy. The devil represents more shadowy energy, and God represents more high vibe energy. And high vibe energy really is the boss of the universe trying to give birth to new things. But we have to get out and look at life from a higher perspective and get out of just our more worldly perspective. Believe in our dreams. Look to the future. Take that cup of love. Offer love to other people. Look to people who are willing to take that cup of love, because we've already found some people in our past that have mental conflict about that, who might dream of moving forward, not accepting that cup of love into their philosophy of life. Let's make our life more about the ego and the image or the indulgence or me. And it's like, I don't want to be in relationships with people like that anymore. And I think as you do that, and you take that cup of love yourself and look to the future, you will get over your mental conflict about these people in your life who want to go invest their time, energy, and effort into other things. And then as you do that, and you're moving forward in the stable, grounded, inspired, balanced, loving way, making good decisions in your life, there's going to be people that are like, why am I in relationships with these type of people? I have a dream. I think my dream could come into reality with this person. And as you move forward, you're going to find other people like you in the world that are looking for someone who's on the same page as them. And you're going to be that person. And those are the people you're going to work with and be friends with and be in relationships with. Other people who have detached from their more worldly nature to be more balanced within themselves, looking to the future, focused on truth and love instead of their fear and their insecurity and their pride and their ego and their status and their image. Let's have some hope and faith and belief that if we put in work and effort aligned with truth and love, the divine helps us manifest those things into reality. The most important thing is it should be about just and fair, truthful, honest, authentic, loving relationships. And from there, we build a stable and abundant and emotionally fulfilling life. And some people haven't figured that out yet. And we were one of those people at one time too. And as we move forward, we're going to learn more lessons in life. And we have to work through all of this again of overcoming we have layers and layers of our worldly nature that tries to stop us from investing in loving ourselves and loving people. It takes work and effort. That's Virgo energy. We have to keep working through how our own selfish, egoic nature of thinking it should be more about me to work cooperatively with other people. And some people that we had in our life have a lot of life lessons to learn before they can be in that type of relationship. And so they're going to go through some of these type of relationships to learn all these lessons just like other people. And some of them right now are moving forward in a relationship, either with someone who's more another loving person, who's maybe more emotionally stable and grounded and mature than them. And they're going to try to exchange resources, presenting themselves as being that type of person too, but they're not. And they're going to be stressed out the whole time that the people that they're in a relationship with are going to see the truth. That there's some lessons these people haven't learned. They're just faking it. And while they're in the relationship, they might not do the work then either. And eventually they're always stressed that people will find out the truth. That they just are looking for people to kind of indulge them in a relationship. Because they maybe do have these fears and these insecurities, but they never deal with them. And so then it affects the decisions that they make in a relationship. They get overwhelmed, but they don't do this work within themselves. Or they're too stubborn or too prideful, like, no, I'm just like these people. But it's like, it isn't just creating an illusion that you're that type of person and acting like that type of person. It's authentically being that type of person. But that's not how some people view life. They think everybody's putting on an illusion. That everybody tries to create this illusion about who they are. But that's not the truth. Some people really are authentically who they say they are. But because they think other people are just creating illusion, they wonder why they're so overwhelmed. Why do they get caught up more in their fears or their insecurity or their pride or their ego or their competitive nature or their jealous nature or their envious nature? Why don't you? And then they start to treat you like the competition they have to defeat. They need to be better than you. They need to look like they're the more just or fair or stable or grounded person. And then they can do these hurtful, unkind things to stop the loving people in their life from loving and believing in themselves, trying to throw them out of balance, get them in shadowy energy like they're in. And then we kind of get in this toxic relationship, and we can kind of go back and forth trying to figure out why, and eventually people finally see the truth. I can't stay in a relationship with you anymore. People who have learned lessons in life to be just and fair and authentic and loving and self-disciplined within themselves and able to maintain balance within themselves do. And people who don't. And you keep giving in and indulging your more immature, competitive, prideful, whatever nature. And I don't want to be in relationships with people who are like that. And I have put a lot of work and effort to try to get you to see the truth of it, but I can't make other people change. The only person I can change is me. I can't make you look at life from a higher perspective. I can't make you put things in perspective. I can't make you love and believe in yourself. I can't make you love yourself. I can only offer people love and encouragement. But if you don't decide within yourself to take that love and encouragement within yourself to work through these issues, to become independent of them, you want me to continually keep indulging you in this relationship. And that's unjust and unfair and overwhelming. Love is supposed to be about being just and fair. And everybody needs to take responsibility within themselves to be that type of person. And if you're not, then you're not the person I thought you were. You might try to create an illusion you're that type of person. Some of these people are in another mismatched relationship and they're overwhelmed. Some of those people might get out of a more mismatched relationship to try to go get in a relationship with someone who they do think is more on the same page as them. And if that person will get in a relationship with them and they're both kind of more about being indulged or indulging in these certain things of the world or more about ego and image, well then, perfect. They're in a relationship with someone who is more about those things too. It's just they both might be people who are stressed about love, don't really want to do love, fearful the other person's going to love themselves and want to leave. Aren't we going to stay in the relationship because of the ego and the image and the money and the status or these things that we like to indulge in? And what's coming up for the people who do harness a more worldly, shadowy Virgo energy? that they might not see coming up. The Queen of Wands, because of the Ace of Cups. Well, for one, if they're in a mismatched relationship right now, the people who are kind of overwhelmed and stressed and, you know, they want what they want, and they're in a relationship with someone who might be loving and encouraging and maintaining balance within themselves, and they don't like that. You're supposed to be stressed like me. You're supposed to make your life about these things that I make my life about. Some of the high vibe people in their life might offer them one last cup of love. Are you going to move forward with me in a more just and fair relationship or not? And if you're not, I'm going to start giving myself that cup of love to detach from you. I've been doing work within myself emotionally, and I've put in a lot of work and effort to this relationship, to maintain balance within it, to be just and fair and be nurturing and loving and supportive. But there comes a point in time, if you want to keep operating from your ego, for a long time I was offering you love to try to get you out of your ego or your defensive nature or your prideful nature or your fearful nature or your bossy nature. And now I'm wishing you a cup of love and wishing you peace, and I'm leaving. And some of the shadowy people that have been able to be toxic or bossy or controlling or trying to manipulate people with these things of the world, thinking they'll never leave, they won't love and believe in themselves to let go of these things or get out of their more codependent energy. And for some people are getting out of it and they've moved on. And they're going to overcome it with anybody that they meet. I'm going to go try to find some people in the world that are on the same page as me. If some of those people are in new relationships, okay. I'm going to keep loving and believing in myself, wish them peace and love, and I'm going to keep moving on. And again, there's people in the world that might want to be in a relationship with some of these high vibe people, but it's like, damn, that would be a lot of work. Plus, I maybe have to speak the truth to some people in my life or people that I might be in relationship with, that I am not going to keep staying in a relationship with them or making them the primary people in my life, you know, and I am going to detach and get more balanced. And for some people, that's really overwhelming to think of revealing their truth. So they're maybe going to stay in those relationships or live their life the way they live it. Another thing they might not see coming is there might be other people who are willing to get in a relationship with them. If they get in a relationship with other creative, inspired people, and they're kind of more shadowy and worldly focused, they're going to be overwhelmed again because they're basically in a relationship with someone who challenges them to align with their more hopeful, believing, loving nature. But they might like being in the relationship with them for a lot of different reasons. But they know, I've been here before, I've done this before, I have these things I'm not willing to give up. These ways that I kind of indulge myself in the world. Even if it's just that I'm kind of more about me, I'm kind of defensive, I don't really want to do love and be more authentically myself. That alone eventually can cause a problem if they're in a relationship with someone who's not like that and wants to be in a relationship with other people who are not like that. And they could be stressed right now. You know, can I get this person though to stay in a relationship with me? Or maybe get them in a relationship, maybe marry me? And then maybe if I get them in the relationship, then even when they do find out, they might be in their pride and ego about leaving it. And I kind of committed fraud to get them in the relationship, presenting myself as being someone I'm not. Or maybe I'm in a relationship with someone who has money and materialism and status and image. I want those things. It's not love. I hope they don't figure it out. The other person might be in it for love. Or they could have someone who is like them, who is willing to offer them a cup of love to get in a relationship with them. That person could have all these things that they want. And they're pretty sure those things will make them happy. Their worldly nature is clouding their judgment. And they could move forward in a relationship right now, or a more formal commitment in a relationship, maybe to exchange resources to become married. And then they're going to be stressed. Either because they know they're not in it for love, or they could know the other person is just like them. They're both operating more from ego. They're both more about money and materialism. Well, what if someone comes along who has more money and status and image? What if they don't indulge this person enough, and there's someone else who they think will exchange resources with them and indulge them more? You know, that's the fear of too shadowy or more worldly focused people, because they're not in the relationship because of love anyway. I'll get into the relationship with you and offer you a cup of love, but that's just to get you in it. Once we're in it, it is maybe more about these things of the world. And if that's what drives and motivates either of us, if someone else comes along, more money, more status, more image, more power, more social clout, more willing to indulge me later, it's really all about me. It's not about us. It's not about love. But if that's who they are, that would be a just and fair relationship. Some of them will stay in it because it has these things of the world that I want. I'm in a relationship with someone who views life the way I view life. We're counterparts. And they're both in their more worldly, shadowy view of life. High vibe people could be in relationships with people who are on the same page as them, or they're looking to get in relationships with people who are on the same page as them. And I think they will get in a relationship and workplaces and friendships with people who really walk the talk, because they're not willing to settle for the illusion. So there you go. I wish you peace, love, and joy, Virgo, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.